Danielle Noyce here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network with your Monday insights. Hope you had a nice weekend, great school vacation week. Back to reality for a lot of us today. And here's what this video will cover. Messy mix Tuesday night into Wednesday. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, depending on where you are. That will result in some tricky travel Tuesday night into Wednesday. I'll let you know where it will be toughest. Milder stretch after that for a few days. A little pattern shift coming in. Another disturbance Friday and Saturday, likely to be rain with that milder air in place before the cold air returns. Meanwhile, more and more of you have been signing up for our SnowSports discussions and memberships, and we are thrilled about it. It is how you can make the easiest decision on where to go, what snow conditions are like, what the trails are like, how much snow is falling, the travel forecast, snowsports.1degreeoutside.com to check it out. It is a part of our 1 Degree Outside enthusiast level, and we've got 4 membership levels to choose from. I'm so happy to say we have over 700 members now. So I set a goal for you guys. We've exceeded it. Let's go to the next level. Let's get 800 members on board here. Exclusive content helps support our mission. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Membership.1degreeoutside.com to check out what each membership level includes. All right, let's start with the jet stream. And as we've seen so much of this winter, a trough, that dip in the jet stream carved out across the Northeast, keeping us cooler than average. What happens, though, for the end of the week and the upcoming weekend? Look at this. We get this bump up, this ridge that develops, and we are on the warmer side this time around with temperatures that are going to climb into the 40s, maybe even some 50s towards the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Now, the upper level energy is what drives our weather. So here's our disturbance that comes in for Tuesday night and Wednesday. Enough mild air gets dragged in with it that we see a changeover in some spots. That exits, and I've stopped things now on Thursday. Wait a sec, there's not much going on. That's because Thursday is actually going to be a nice day. I just wanted to point that out. Pick of the week. There will be temperatures in the 40s for some of us. No precipitation to worry about. A nice winter day. Not much wind either. Now, Friday, next disturbance comes in. Notice there's not a ton of energy with it, but likely to have some scattered rain showers around. More bundles of energy coming up Friday night and Saturday ahead of the big upper level cold pool that will still be off to our west. So a little unsettled here for Friday and into the Saturday time frame. Many details to be ironed out in the coming days with that. But I do want to show you temperatures at 6,000 feet, mid-levels of the atmosphere. The red line you see here is the freezing line, and it does come into northern New England by the time we get to Tuesday night and Wednesday. So north of that, we're talking about an all-snow event for northern New England. Then it does collapse back to the coastline for Wednesday evening and night. So even where we get rain, we'll get a freeze up on any leftover moisture on untreated surfaces. After that, that zero line goes all the way up into eastern Canada. So we are on the mild side for the end of the week, for the start of the weekend. But you notice that cold pool is not far away, coming into the Midwest, coming into the Great Lakes, and arriving back to New England for Saturday night and into Sunday as the chilly air returns. So it's a little up and down in terms of roller coaster ride for temperatures here. All right, let's talk about what you really want to know for Tuesday. The clouds increase. I think we're fine right on through the evening commute. There may be a couple of mixed showers that start to come into western New England around 5 or 6 p.m. in Vermont. They do spread east between about 6 and 8 p.m. So the pink here represents some pockets of sleet and freezing rain that develop. Generally, you notice outside of 128 and especially 495. Vermont, most of New Hampshire into western Maine, we see a burst of snow that develops that will likely change over into some of the valleys, but most of northern New England is a snow event this time around with that little triple point low coming right over southern New England. What does that mean? Well, you notice we have a little bit of everything. This is like everything but the kitchen sink storm. Wind isn't going to be a huge concern, and we'll get briefly gusty on the Cape. This is overnight Tuesday, so while most of us are sleeping, bulk of the precipitation falls. My concern Wednesday morning is this. Notice the areas of pink still in place outside of 128 and 495 especially. Worcester Hills, southern New Hampshire, a little bit into the southern Maine coastline, snow north of that with winter driving conditions. And all it takes is a trace of sleet and freezing rain to really slicken the roads. So Wednesday morning will be a tough go through the interior, Merrimack Valley, southern New Hampshire. And then as the low departs, we may get a quick rain or snow shower left over on the backside. But most of the precipitation will be winding down early on Wednesday morning. There's Thursday, a quieter day overall with a blend of sun and clouds. Friday, those clouds increase again, but we're on the milder side. So even though we do have some scattered rain showers, they're just that, rain showers that come and go. It's not a pouring rain the whole day. And then Friday night into Saturday, likely to have some pockets of rain. We'll talk more about the timing of that in the days to come. All right, let's talk predicted icing with the Tuesday night, Wednesday system. The spots that I'm mainly concerned about are outside of 495. There may be a little that comes towards the 495 belt, but we should see the temperatures rise on Wednesday morning above freezing. So places like the Berkshires in through southern Vermont, it's generally light icing, maybe a few hundredths to perhaps 1 to 2 tenths. Will keep you posted. Places like Ringe and Milford up through Concord, Laconia, and then over towards Rochester, Sanford, Maine, and then back up through Lewiston and Gray. So all the areas you see shaded here in pink, seeing that wintry mix, and that's the zone where there will be some tricky travel Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, possibly as late as midday on Wednesday too. Snowfall, this isn't a blockbuster storm, but we're adding about 1 to 3 and then 3 to 5 inches across far northern New England. There may be a few locally higher amounts in Maine. The farther south you come, it's generally a 1 to 2 inch event, but when you get north of Concord, it's more like 2 or 3, isolated 4-inch amounts, with those amounts ramping up across northern New England. And it will be a wetter, pastier snow than what we've had recently. Right along the Mass-New Hampshire border, there may be a coating to an inch here before we see that changeover. Precipitation-wise, when you melt it down, it's not a ton of moisture. That's why it's not going to be a ton of snow or even rainfall where it falls in southern New England. It's about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, maybe even a little bit less than that along the south coast. And when you melt it down, about half an inch or just less than that, 1/4 to 1/2 an inch in northern New England. Let's talk temperatures. They go up and down. Tuesday, around 30 in northern New England, but 35 to 40 south. There's the concern inland, so away from the coast, the south coast, Boston down to Cape Cod, it's at or below freezing. So that's why there may be some locally slick spots, and it takes some time to scour out that chilly air, at least early on Wednesday. So we do rise into the 40s, but it takes some time until the morning to midday, the farther north you go. And then we're in the low to mid 30s in far northern New England. Wednesday night, this is what I was talking about. The chilly air comes back all the way back down to the south coast, maybe the exception on Cape Cod. So any lingering moisture, even where we get some rain, will freeze up. So some localized icy spots possible Wednesday night. Thursday, we're squarely into the 40s in southern New England, pretty pleasant. 30s north, sun and clouds, a nice winter day overall. Friday, we may come close to 50 in southern New England, 40s to the north. There will be some pockets of rain showers around, not a pouring rain all day, but kind of off and on, so you may want the umbrella with you. And then Friday night, it doesn't get that cold. 30s and 40s, we actually may be talking about some record warm overnight temperatures on Friday night, and then we stay mild heading into the start of the upcoming weekend. You'll see that in our free weather app. Give it a download. Thousands of 5-star reviews. So search 1 Degree Outside Weather in the App Store and Google Play. And if you want to watch us on TV, we are literally on 24/7 streaming. A smart TV, open up the YouTube app, search 1 Degree Outside Network, always at 1degreeoutside.live. Have a great day, everybody.